All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'll get this meeting started. Good morning, everyone. I think you might need to go somewhere else. He will eventually. I guess he's getting used to the bell, or I didn't ring it loud enough. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Here is our Rotary Vision. Oops. I'm going to blame everything that goes wrong on the cat for as long as he's here. All right. And our Rotary International Statement of Diversity. They don't say anything about animal like species on here, but I guess we have to value my cat as well here. And we're going to introduce our guests and visiting Rotarians. I think I'd want to have our interactors introduce themselves. So where did they go? Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Do you want me to talk about events we're doing with our club?
You know, you can do that if you'd like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so tomorrow is kind of a busy day for us. We have the shoe drive that we talked about at the last meeting. We're doing some organizing with that starting at 9:30, I think till around 11:30. We also are helping out with the tri-tip dinner with the noon club, sorry. And then on Sunday, we are doing another beach cleanup and actually, no, wait, that's for something else. Sorry. We're helping out with your Jacoby Creek school cleanup thing that you guys organized. So we've gotten a fair bit of volunteers for that. So we're going to come to that. And let's see. Okay, the 27th is the beach cleanup that we have planned with the noon club as well. Sorry, I'm still kind of waking up. But yeah, that's all we have planned for right now.
Well, that's a lot for the next week or two. You guys are really busy. That's wonderful.
Did you get the number of shoes you need?
I'm not sure about the update right now. I'll definitely let you guys know, like when we think we're gonna go to the storage unit and see how much we have and stuff. But I'll let you know if we're still short.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear how that ends. I mean, how many you end up with. That was a great project. Thank you then. Thank you for that. And Kyla, do you want to say hello this morning?
Hi, Kyla. I've never been to one of these meetings, so I'm excited to be here. And
We could barely hear you. Are you, can you maybe turn your phone up or turn your speaker, or I don't know what.
can you hear me?
Just barely.
Okay. 1 second.
Oops. We'll come back to you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, sorry. My name is Kyla, and I'm excited to be here because I've never been to one of these meetings and see what it's about like. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy it. And let's see, we have Rob. I'm seeing you bounce around on my screen. There you are. You want to say hello?
Good morning, Rob Wall, CalTrans, here to talk about our mitigation projects.
That's great. We look forward to that. Thank you for joining us. And then I'm looking just to be sure there's a phone number there that if that's somebody that needs to.
This is our board meeting.
Needs to introduce themselves. 616-5916. Is that one of our regular folks there? It's a test to see if you know your phone number. It probably is, but I don't know.
Good morning. Good morning, it's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Well, good. Good morning, everybody. It's good to
And
see
we have
you.
Marty Lay visiting from Southwest Eureka too.
Oh, Marty's here. Yay. Hi, Marty.
Hi, Maggie.
Welcome.
Hey, Marty.
Marty's known as the most patient man in the entire world.
Is he?
For good reason, and people who know me know why.
It's worth it.
Well, welcome, Marty, and welcome, everybody. This is any comments about the photo?
Really awesome.
Yeah, it's a sunrise over an ocean. So it's not a local photo because
No.
that would be frightening.
Else it would be a sunset.
Yeah, that would be a frightening moment. But yes. So reminder about the raffle this morning. Today we're going to the Philippines. Not all at once, but anyway. So I'm going to jump into it. I don't know, am I seeing Barbara here this morning? I don't think so. Darn her. We're waiting for her moment of gratitude. And maybe this morning she's grateful that she gets to sleep in. I'm guessing that's one of her gratitude moments. We'll catch her when we see her. I was, for whatever reason, I was thinking about all the things that we do together before Zoom and besides Zoom. And so I pulled up some photos. But the first one, before I go there, I wanted to show us all meeting our Club Health Challenge. And I don't know if we have any new news. Has anybody moved way forward? I'm looking for Lori. I don't see Lori, but you might be here. Nope. So just this I think ends on the 31st. So if you're doing that, you still have another week to get a few more, or more than a week. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I think more than a week to get your last miles in.
All right, so I can give you an update. Vanessa Ray, Romy, done. 300 done, and in that order, I think. Lori's at 150. Wait, where'd Stephanie go? Did you finish 200? All of a sudden, you're not on here.
Maybe she did.
She did. Lori's at 150. I thought Steph was right up there. I guess I got to go to the 200 challenge. Stephanie's at 161. Lori's at 150. Joyce 113. Maggie 71. Chris is right behind you, Maggie 70.5. And Lisa's right there at 668. And then Melinda's still in the running, and I don't know if I have everybody.
Well, thanks for that update. Chris and Lisa, you're not going to catch me because I'm almost, those numbers aren't right. You're not going to catch me. But although
I keep your eye right in the back because I'm going to pass you probably.
we'll see. Hey, if it keeps raining, you probably will, because I just don't like to go out in the rain. Or I guess I don't like my fur to get wet. So anyway, well, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna keep this up and figure it out a way that more people can participate with different apps, maybe, so that we don't want you to be limited by the apps that we are using. So we'll see how that works. So yeah, I pulled out some photos of us doing things. And just to share, this is just kind of a photo montage, no particular order or reason. They were things that came up easily that when I was pulling up photos. So here's a Pints for Polio photo from a while back. You might recognize yourselves or some of these folks. Here is a Rotaract fundraiser we participated in. I think they threw stuff at us at different places. I just remember having color thrown at us.
Marty's dressed for a good run.
Oh, Marty's ready. And then this was a foundation celebration that some of us wore costumes. And some of us didn't need costumes. I don't know, but there's Captain Infinity there. And here is some of us at the district conference in Yosemite when it snowed on us. Remember that one. And here's a spring fundraiser that we did when we used to dress up and have these big long dinners and entertainment, all those things we used to do. And we all got to dress up like various things. Here is Academy Awards at the Eureka Theater one year.
That looks like a professional photo shoot.
It does, doesn't it?
It was gorgeous.
Yeah. Here's our annual class photo. You can see some of the class is acting somewhat unruly per usual. Recognize some of us in there. Here's a fellowship at Arcata Playhouse. And a lot of us have red eyes on that one. That's pretty cool. Must have been something in the water we were drinking. Here's a crab feed for tuna. And here's just a random spontaneous class photo we decided to take. I'm not sure why, but I'm glad it was fun. Nice to get a photo periodically when we're in a meeting. Here's us doing some club service. And of course, tailgate fellowship when that was a thing. I think we can still do this when we get back together. We'll just be the only people in the parking lot.
Ever do Go Jacks Green and Gold Friday?
And a bucket of seafood. This is also for tuna. And this is the best date ever. And I'm just really glad that Bob and Susie let me crash their date.
Why does Bob always look like he's up to some mischief?
Yeah, Bob, what's up with that?
Is
He's taking the fifth on that one. So I just thought I'd share some photos. Kind of nice to see that what we look like when we all get together, and we will again soon. So that was just. And if you guys have any exceptionally great, crazy photos of us doing something that you want me to share, go ahead and send them to me, and I'll get them in the mix so that we can start seeing those photos just for fun. So now we're gonna do some service. Go, yay, Cat's gone, woohoo! I love him, but he's done with us. I said service, and I think he thought I was going to give him food. So yep, it's service. So yeah, let's see what's going on here. Want to remind you about the business awards that Cindy presented to us about. And if you want more information, go to northcoasethics.com. There's also a scholarship, information about a scholarship there, and this will be of interest to the interactors. It's $1,000, and it's available to any current juniors who want to apply. So that's something that there's some information there, and it's worth taking a look at. It's for anyone who's going to be going to college in the fall of 2022. So which is worth checking out. You have to kind of scroll down and dig around a little bit, but it's in there. And again, reminding you about these painless ways to support other clubs' efforts. We've got the tri-tip dinner tomorrow with Arcata noon, and then on the 25th you have the best of the worst. Better than the worst of the best. Southwest Rotary is doing that over in Eureka. So you have those, and if you go to either of their web pages, you can get more info about those. I'm going to ask Marty, are you guys going to sell out on that one? Does it look like?
Yes, it does, Maggie. We're about to 300 right now. We're going to go to 400 and see how that goes. There'll be an announcement today. The price goes up today, $5. But by the middle of next week, we should have a count, and we'll post all the local clubs to where we're at on the count, so you know. Thank you.
Thank you. So if you are going to do that, you should sign up sooner rather than later, or you might miss out. And it looks like it's going to cost you $5 more than it would have cost you before. So, but it's all to a good cause. That's good. So Ian's firesides are coming up and people are signing up. So that's great. We're going to have, we've got quite a few people there. Ian, are you in a place where you can chat? There he is. Yes.
Sure. We've got a lot of signups. The first meeting on March 30th is getting close to full. So if the Tuesday is the only day that's good for you, please do sign up for that as soon as possible. There is still ample room on the 31st and April 1st. So thank you everybody for looking to your email to follow that sign up genius, and I appreciate it. We'll see you there. Having great conversations with all of you by phone, by the way. So if I haven't reached you yet, look forward to that. It'll be soon.
Great. Thank you.
Hey, Maggie.
Yes.
Are you gonna give me a moment to remind people about Adopt a Highway this weekend? Is that on your schedule?
You bet. I'm getting there.
Oh, good. Okay.
No worries. It's here somewhere. We have our backpackers. I think Vanessa and Charlie are looking for the award of who does backpacks most often. They're trying to take it away from Lisa, which is awesome. And
can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Maggie. So we're just finishing up the winter group, and we sent out an email last week with Sign Up Genius. Maggie sent out Sign Up Genius, and I sent out the schedule for the spring. It's like 11 weeks that's left. Also, I reached out to the co-op, and they're going to donate some apples and oranges for not this week, but the following week. So we'll be able to add fresh fruit to the bags. And I believe that the food bank is doing a partnership with agriculture for the Central Valley, and they're going to be starting adding in some fresh fruit also. So I think it's going to work out really well. But Maggie sent out the Sign Up Genius, so if people would look at that, and if your name's on it, sign up. And if you just want to volunteer because you'd like to, please do. Thank you.
Great. And do we have someone sign up for next week?
I am.
Uh-oh. See, Lisa.
That's okay.
No, you're in that there's an informal competition between Charlie and Vanessa and you. So anyone else want to win the prize at the end of the year for who did it the most? I guess I just announced that there's going to be a prize for who did it the most.
Well, we will relinquish our spot if somebody does want to slip in and take it from Lisa and I. We'll let someone else do it. So let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. They don't need another prize. So yes.
We're good. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome, Lisa.
And thank you, Vanessa, Charlie, and AJ for doing this. And as an aside, happy birthday, AJ. Let's see. Highway cleanup.
Ooh. Yes. AJ sent out a sign up genius. So you could sign up with a partner and do an hour of coming out anytime between 10 a.m. As late as 11:30, and we'll check you out. So there's a few folks signed up, but we could use a lot more so that we could do kind of a quick in and out, get her done. So, if you don't, just come on out, we'll assign you to a section of highway that you could get done in an hour. And so we need a few more, and it looks like it's not going to rain tomorrow. So it'll be a beautiful day out on the peninsula to make it even prettier out here by picking up the trash.
And I apologize for not signing up. I'm getting my second flu shot tomorrow. So, and I'm taking a senior to get hers as well. So I'm kind of in the middle of that. But it's going to be good. And please, people, if you haven't done it before, especially, I mean, many of you have, and you're going to do it again, but if you've never done it before, please give it a try. It's really a nice opportunity to help make things look much nicer and get some fresh air and be out there with other people, although more socially distant or physically distant than we used to.
Oh, I see somebody in the chat, Tammy, wanted to know the details. If you didn't get the sign up genius, you could still come out and we'll disperse you to appropriate locations. But instead of all waiting to gather in one big group, we're telling people you could come for an hour between 10 and as late as 11:30 and come out to the Humboldt Coastal Nature Center, which is on Stamps Lane out in Manila. And we'll give you your equipment, check out your equipment, bags. You head out to your section for an hour, bring your equipment back, feel good, and kind of earn your I guess, tri-tip or whatever it is you're going to enjoy later on in the day.
Great. Thanks for those details. It's a good thing to do. So if you have some time, an hour, on Saturday morning, that will be great to see you out there. We also have this project. This is on Sunday, and it's nice to have a project on Sunday because some of our folks work on Saturdays and can't do a Saturday project. So this is happening. There was a sign up genius. Sarah, do you have anything you want to share about this?
Sure. Yeah, we have plenty of volunteers, but we still are looking for somebody to bring a chainsaw and a weed eater. And so if you are signed up to come, if you can bring those items or anything you could use to clear brush, gloves, any kind of tools for pulling weeds, should be fun.
That's great. Yes, the chainsaw and weed eaters will make some of these things go better and faster. So thank you. And thank you for everybody who has signed up to do that. And it helped the school get the space ready for their native plants area. And that will be good. And then we also wanted to just remind you that we started this Gofundme campaign. Sarah, do you want to add anything about that? What's going to happen with the money that is raised for this?
I'm just reading what you put up there. Yeah, essentially we're doing a GoFundMe to get a bench installed for Bev, who was the crossing guard at Jacoby Creek Elementary. We have some money raised so far, but we might contribute a little more to get it going. And then whatever's left is going to be used for a mural. The school's putting together a mural that brings forth the message of lifting each other up. So it should be a really awesome tribute to Bev that can last forever at Jacoby Creek.
Thank you. Thank you. And I threw this in here. I saw this need not too long ago, and I know it's always a need there, that the local American Red Cross needs volunteers to help prepare and respond to disasters and things like that. So if you're interested in this element of volunteerism in our community, you can reach out to Heather over at at State Farm there, and I think she's a Mad River Rotarian, and she'd be happy to give you more information about that. So if you're looking for being involved in that way in our community, they really can use some strong leaders, and that's who we have in the room. So check it out. So does anyone know what the name of this mountain volcano in the Philippines? So me neither, actually. Actually, I know, but it's in my notes, and you put the notes in your screen, and this is a new opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about how to use this. Oh, look at that. That's not what I want. So I'm going to figure it out. You guys have time, right? Anybody need to leave right now? Can I play around with this? Let's see.
Right, where's Rebecca Crow? Because we absolutely need to give you some harassment right now. Way to go, Maggie.
What did you say?
$20 to my Paul Harris. You put a slide up there and you've got no idea what it is. And then you ask us all and we're trying to figure it out like you know, but then you don't know.
Wow. That was amazing.
I was channeling Rebecca.
And you know what? You're going to have to put some money into her Paul Harris for that one. I think you need to. I think that would be awesome. Okay, so this is a mountain in the Philippines. Apparently, the Philippines have a huge number of active volcanoes, and that masquerade as kind of mountains until they blow their top. And this one is very unique and famous because it's very cone. Because the top, it's very cone shaped. A lot of them lose their top and they're all messed up. But this one, and it's it goes off. I mean, it does its thing quite often. And it's due to see, this is what I'm gonna do for you. Thank you, Romy, for your donation to Paul Harris for Rebecca. So this is called it's called Volcan Mayon. It's Mount Mayon, which is it's a stratovolcano, and it's on the island of Luzon in the Philippines. It's very popular for tourists to go there because it's a perfect cone, symmetrical conical shape, and it's apparently very sacred. But it's there's a national park surrounding it, and I guess a lot of people like to go there and hike and look at it. But it is the most active volcano in the Philippines, and so it's kind of one of those things that I don't know why you'd want to be really close to it, but apparently some people like that. So anyway, that is your trip to the Philippines. I'm going to try to get us back here. But I don't like what you're seeing right now. So let's see. Are you seeing my slide mix, but not the, I don't like that. Hold on, guys. Oh, wait. So,
while you're doing that, I have to explain to people who wonder why Romy is so rude. She asked for it. Just wanted to make sure people know that. Would you ask for it? I'm writing it in my Venmo. What was it called? Harassing the president?
Right. Yes. Yeah. See, Rebecca, that's awesome. Now you don't even have to harass me. You have people who will harass me for you, and then they will put money in your Paul Harris. I think that that's such a great scam, Rebecca. I'm so proud of you.
Win-win. Thank you, Romy. I'll have to think of how to insult Maggie next week. Or call her out, call her out for bad behavior or not good meeting etiquette. There we go. I don't want to make fun of you.
That's what I'm trying to come up with the wording as I'm putting it in Venmo. What's it called, Maggie?
Heckle.
Heckling the president.
It's heckling. It should not get any worse than heckling. I mean, when harassment's not good. You should not harass the president. But heckling is a happening thing. So let me and I think I'm gonna figure this out, guys. Just give me a chance. There we go.
I liked listening to Romy heckle. I don't think I've ever heard a mean word out of Romy's mouth. So that was enjoyable. That might have made my morning.
Yeah, interesting. That's interesting how that was enjoyable. Now, if she made a habit of it, you wouldn't like it. But when it happens occasionally, then it's all good, right? All right. So we're going to go on and yes, Mike had in the chat while we were all distracted by the heckling. Mike actually picked the knew what it was. Mike, how come you knew that? Did you Google it or did you just know this stuff?
I looked it up.
Okay, good for you. That's how I found it. All right. So I also wanted to note that it's weird that some people's money has happy smiling faces on it. And also people who were, like, relatively speaking, born in the same century, you know, or more, you know, our money just has really historical figures from a long time ago on it, and they don't seem to change. So I think it's interesting. Some people's money, they kind of keep it more current. They keep their currency current by adding, and I you know, when I was pulling money up, I was thinking about the Marcos, Imelda, and didn't they used to rule that place, you know, the woman with a million shoes? And this is not them, but as far as that I can tell anyway, but these are other happy leaders or important people in the Philippines. So we are ready to do our raffle. If anybody, I hope you all put your money where Nick could find it, and then we're turning it over to Nick to do the raffle.
Awesome, thank you, Maggie. All right, so we're gonna use this wheel that Charlie sent me again and see how we like it. All right, so here we go. That way it's completely fair. John Golem. And we'll see what you want.
I love that new wheel.
Is that cool?
$5. And I don't know if you can hear it from my side, but they do clapping and you can hear the wheel going around and all that.
Yeah.
And one more. And looks like Lisa.
Chris is so happy.
And she won the jackpot, so she won 50 bucks. Awesome. So next week will be 20, and we'll start again. So it pays to win, or pays to play.
Love that wheel.
Yeah, way to go, Lisa. Totally random and totally awesome. That's nice. That's nice. Way to go. So I'm going to turn the program over to Carol in a second, but I wanted to just do a shout out. I noticed that we've got a couple other guests here on the call, and I wanted to let them say hello to us and us say hello to them. So I'm looking at, I see Denise, I see you here. Can you say hello and tell us who you are?
Hi, I'm Denise Walker Brown, and I'm a mitigation specialist for CalTrans. And I hear my supervisor, Rob Wall, is going to be presenting on the Samoa mitigation, which I've been a part of.
Oh, great. Oh, great. So you are here out of interest and out of loyalty and because you were asked to be here.
I wasn't asked to be here. Those other two apply, though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Monique, I see you are here.
Yeah, hey, I'm just tapping on the call. I popped in last week and I heard about the Rotary Club through AJ and just all the wonderful things you're doing. And so I wanted to see how I can help.
Great. Well, we're glad to have you again.
Thank you so much.
And I think that then now is making sure, and Rachel, I just want to say hello to you. Do you happen to have your child available to show us?
He's actually sleeping right now. Woohoo!
Oh, and you can't just zoom in on him? Oh, well, okay. Well, we are glad you are here as well.
Well, I can go into the bedroom.
Can you show us him sleeping? Sorry, guys, just, you know. Sorry, not sorry. Okay.
There he is. Hey, buddy.
Oh my gosh, you got to pin him. Because
Yeah.
you see that face all big.
I'm going to pin him, yes. Sorry, guys, just take a moment to pin the baby. Let's see if this works. Nope, it didn't. Anyway, very cute. And is he waking up? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Go follow up, Maggie. Way to go.
Now we've done it.
Baby. I've already paid for it. I just had to say it.
Now we've done it. Okay, guys. All right. So thank you for your indulgence with that one.
There he is. It's like, what's going on? Hey. Okay.
All right. Well, we can't do that all day. I mean, we could, but we're going to stop now. Thank you so much. All right. So now I'd like to turn the program over to Carol to introduce our speaker today. Thank you.
All right, that was fun. Yes, our speaker is inspired by, I think many of us have driven on Highway 255, and for a long time there's all this big equipment, and now there's water and mud, and what the heck is going on? Well, luckily we have Robert Wall, who is the CalTrans District 1 Chief of the Coastal Stewardship Branch, here to talk about this project and explain what's going on. His group helps restore wetlands and remove invasives. Robert holds a bachelor's degree in geography from Humboldt State and a Master of Rural Town Planning from CSU Chico. He's been a certified land use planner since 2001 and served as land use planner and director for both the city of Eureka and the county of Humboldt. And so welcome. Thanks for joining us, Robert. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for the opportunity to share this project with you. Couple disclaimers. CalTrans works in WebEx, and I'm going to try and get my PowerPoint up without a hitch. So let's see if I can, for some reason my screen.
Maggie, is he able to share screen? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this.
There it is.
Is that it?
Yep.
And
I think there's a start slideshow up there.
yeah. Which screen are you seeing?
I think we're seeing yours. We also see your next slide, but
Interesting.
yeah, you could probably get by with that, but I think there's a way to just start from the beginning, but this will work too. There. Yeah, I think from the beginning, isn't that the far left icon up there on the top? Does that work?
F5.
F5.
Huh.
Keep showing my next one. Okay, well, my disclaimer is, if you can see that, I'll start from there. Thank you for having me. My first or second disclaimer is I am not a biologist, and as Marty Lay knows, I'm not an engineer. I did work for SHN for, I think, about 4 years. I am a land use planner. I did a stint with the city of Eureka and was their director for 4 years, 5 years. And then when Kevin Hamblin stepped aside for a year, I was the, had the fortunate opportunity to be the planning director when Humboldt County decided to legalize recreational cannabis. And that was for about a year, and that was a challenging transition. Now I'm with CalTrans, and I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you can go to the next slide. As Carol noted, 255 has had some activity based on mitigation needs for our Eureka Arcata Corridor projects. And here's a slide of exactly what's going on. Obviously, the big ticket item here is the Indianola undercrossing, which I am told will hopefully be under construction spring of 22. You've probably driven the decel lanes here, if you can see my cursor. And the cable median barriers there. And Jacoby Creek Bridge, you've probably dealt with kind of the headache of driving past that project, hopefully not too big of a headache. And that project is due to start again this June. And then we have some tide gates, 5 tide gates that we replaced. Essentially, we at CalTrans affected about 10¼ acres of wetland, different types of wetland, but predominantly freshwater wetland with some tidally influenced aspects. And we had to mitigate for those. But I wanted to share, and if you might remember when we did our federal consistency hearing with the Coastal Commission, there was a requirement, probably a good one, that we help out the bay trails. And so we are donating or giving, sponsoring the bay trail mitigation also. You'll see this yellow piece of pie here in the chart. That's the completed Arcata Trail north. And so we're mitigating for that. And then this is an exciting part right here, the Bay Trail South, which I heard yesterday is at 60% completion regarding the engineering and slated to go to the California Coastal Commission this August for a hearing. And fingers crossed we'll have that trail connected or at least started next spring, the construction of that. So the mitigation was challenging. With all these projects, there's what we call a no net loss, where if you fill a wetland, you gotta produce a wetland and then some. And so there are some ratios that the Army Corps of Engineers, the North Coast Water Board, and the California Coastal Commission need or want as a result of our impacts. We negotiated, and I want to put a shout out to Tammy Camper, who was on this call. She was part of my team, an integral part of this team, and was neck deep in a lot of these negotiations and work. So thank you, Tammy. And then Denise is here also. She is on this team. And Tammy and Denise did work together on this. But we negotiated with the agencies, and I'm going to be polite. The Coastal Commission wanted a different type of mitigation. We had an opportunity to create wetlands at the Samoa site at the DeMello Dairy at 255 and Old Samoa Road. But the Coastal Commission actually wanted more. And for various reasons, we went with Spartina removal. Sorry, I'm a little out of sync here with the slide here, but we do our due diligence to mitigate wetlands on site. So just showing that. But here's the Spartina eradication, and then here is the wetland restoration at Samoa. So the Spartina eradication was negotiated with the California Coastal Commission, and this is an SHN slide. Essentially, we negotiated about 180 acres of Spartina removal within Humboldt Bay to satisfy the wetland fill on the corridor for the California Coastal Commission. And we actually signed a co-op with the Harbor District yesterday to send an RFP out, request for proposal for a contractor to begin controlling Spartina in perpetuity. There's also an endowment going to the Wiyot tribe, a non-wasting endowment where they can control Spartina in perpetuity and bring back their native grasses and some better diversity. Spartina is an introduced species from Chile, came in with our lumber ships, and really is an aggressive monoculture. It really wreaks havoc on our native plants and animals and biodiversity. And so the Wiyot tribe entered into a partnership with us at CalTrans and also with the Harbor District to control that. So here's a shot of what Spartina looks like. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen the marsh masher or marsh master, depending on who you're talking to. But essentially, it is a solution. There are mechanical means, and you can also get in there, and you've probably seen the California Conservation Corps or RCAA out there with weed whackers. Trying to get a handle on the Spartina. And so the benefits of that, again, are the Wiyot tribe really wants to take their island back from this monoculture. They want their native plants, and they do want to increase their aquatic biodiversity. So on to the, back to the dairy. So this is our site. A couple shots of the DeMello Dairy. We purchased the property, I believe, around 2000, before 2010. And as a part of our hearings with the Coastal Commission, we had to promise them that we had viable mitigation prior to going into our coastal permits. And so we purchased the landfear. We purchased a property next to landfear, and we also purchased the Samoa site. The landfear property, which we are currently selling to the federal government, didn't really work out. The mitigation project was very expensive. Essentially, there was going to be an eco levy put on the Samoa property, and I believe it was around $16 million when trucking in all the soils and the hydrology. So we gave up on that property, focused our energy on the Spartina removal, and then I think the team did a great job on the Samoa site. So pay attention where my cursor's at. You'll see this body of water here. This is actually salt water from a leaky tide gate. And that's going to come into play here on our mitigation. So here's a kind of a graphic of what we are doing out there. Construction did begin last year. And you'll see here where my cursor's at, that is where that little water body is located, that little saline water body. And that actually came from a leaky tide gate, a Cal Fish and Wildlife leaky tide gate over somewhere over here. I probably should have a better example of that. But that leaky tide gate produced a minor saline, tidally influenced habitat. It had its own Spartina and it had its own issues, but we negotiated with the Coastal Commission. We still had to get a coastal permit to create this property for the Army Corps of Engineers and the Water Board to create this saline area here. So this area here is tidally influenced and is actually going to be phased and improved. We were actually going to do a phase 2. Denise, who is on this call this morning, is working on that right now, programming a phase 2 to fix the tide gate, enhance more of this area here with this, I like to call it this dendritic pattern here. And also, you probably note that the barn and the farmhouse have been raised, and that'll also be saline. And then right here is where there is a levee that does separate the freshwater and saltwater wetlands. And you'll also note that up here there is a band of vegetation here that's quite mature, and that was from the Mad River Bridges mitigation from 2010. So it's a mosaic. It's a site that we are seeing that is going to be very successful for us. We do understand that sea level rise is going to take this property at some point, and that did come into the hydrology and the biology of this this particular site. Cal Fish and Wildlife and the Coastal Commission are happy, and they're about where we're at in the public ownership of this. And they would actually like to see a lot more public ownership on that southern side of 255. I've heard anecdotally that Cal Fish and Wildlife wants to use that as their last bastion of sea level rise retreat or managed retreat. And so they're pretty happy with this project, and they'd like to actually see more of that. Unfortunately, the downside of that is our ag land loss. So that's a balance that has to be struck. This is a photo of some marble godwits. I believe this was taken in January. Denise took this. We haven't even planted the site yet, and we're not done with the property, and we're already getting an incredible amount of at least avian or bird biodiversity out there, and we're pretty excited about getting the construction done and actually working on phase 2. So the gain on this property for our two entities, again, the Army Corps of Engineers and Water Board, not the Coastal Commission. The saline component of this was a kind of a nice to have, mainly for the Coastal Commission. There is a little bit of Water Board saline component, but we've got 30 acres of freshwater wetland, 15 acres of freshwater enhancement. These are just the fancy terms for freshwater. And then we've got almost 5 acres of estuary mudflat and tidally influenced wetland that we're going to be creating once we get that concrete slab out from the former home site. And then the ultimate goal is to transfer the property with an endowment to Cal Fish and Wildlife. And I just want to say what a difference a retirement makes. I wanted to note that part of our negotiations, and Tammy Camper knows this, or probably remembers this, is Cal Fish and Wildlife were not very amenable to a saltwater component of this mitigation. Their former lands manager absolutely did not want that mix. They wanted the freshwater wetlands. I believe they wanted to, it may have had something to do with the waterfowl recreation hunting component. But we had a retirement. We had a new land manager come in who was a little more open-minded. I hate to say that, but he is. His name is Sean Freeze, their new land manager, and I want to give him credit for what he's done in allowing us to have that saline component. So the schedule, we've been allocated the funds. We began our construction. We're going to hopefully finish the planning and contouring. Again, I want to go back to the Spartina eradication, which is important. Hopefully late summer, you'll see that. And then phase 2, more hydrology improvement, and then Cal Fish and Wildlife gets to own and manage the property in perpetuity. So with that, I hope that wasn't too quick or too long, but again, the disclaimer, I'm not an engineer or a biologist, but I'll take your questions, or I'll defer to Denise, or maybe even Tammy. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. Yes, there's some time for questions, and I'm sure we have some. That was really interesting, and it's good to see what's happening, or we know something's happening, but it's good to hear more about what's going on and the progress you're making. Any questions for Rob?
Yeah, I have one. Rob, those new tide gates along 101, will those relieve the water from the east side of the freeway a lot faster now, or what's the goal there?
So I didn't have too much involvement in the tide gates, but yes, that is what I heard. I did visit some of the sites. They were flapping and flooding, and they really needed to be replaced. And
Rob, I can answer that question. This is Denise, if you'd like, since I was the project biologist.
yes.
Yeah, those tide gates were requested by NOAA Marine Fisheries and U.S. Fish and Wildlife and CDFW to help with salmonid and goby movement. So they really were done for, one, their life expectancy was done, and they were done to help fish passage.
Thank you.
And they're currently being monitored right now by HSU Foundation and HSU students for effectiveness.
Yep, I just signed that bill.
Thank you.
There's we have a question in the chat. Any chance that this area can flood over Samoa Boulevard towards the Greenview area?
The potential for flood over there? So if I'm hearing right, that's the potential for flood. Yeah, we worked with a hydrologist, a couple hydrologists who modeled that, and it was deemed not to increase the flood hazard on any normal design yield storm. Obviously, if there was a 500-year flood, we may see something like that, but we were it was modeled and assured that would not flood 255.
And is there information about this project on your website, CalTrans website, and that people can take a look and get more information?
At this point, no, but there should be shortly. We're also going to create a YouTube video. Our public information officer has reached out to the unit to make that also. So there will be, hopefully shortly, something on our webpage, and I'd be glad to send that link to the Rotary folks.
Great. There's one last question here that I think, I don't know if this is something you can answer. How many exits and entrances will there be to 101 between Arcata and Eureka when this is all done? I guess the question is it going to remain the same, or are we going to lose or gain exits?
My understanding is that there will be some road closures, and I'm trying to.
I've heard the Bayside is certainly one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, Bayside.
Yeah.
But are there others?
Not that I'm aware of. I know the ability to, obviously the ability to cross 101 is hopefully going to be improved with the overpass, and we'll have less games of vehicular chance getting across 101. So
Yes, so Rob, that there are all exits will remain the same.
mm-hmm.
There's going to be no new exits. And entrances will pretty much all be the same. Those medians, like you suggested, are all going to be removed, and they're going to be restored to wetlands.
Right. And so we are actually monitoring those wetlands in the middle of the 101 via drone. So we've got some new technology we're excited about to keep our biologists a lot safer.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have today. I really appreciate you coming and talking to us and telling us in clear terms what's happening out there for us and for the mitigation and the wetlands. I think it's an important project. And in your honor and appreciation, we are making a donation to Tri-County Independent Living who support people with disabilities and to promote equal access to the world. And so we want to thank you, and thank you, Denise, for joining us this morning. And we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'd like, thank you again very much. Good job. And just to be warned, Marty somewhere, he didn't share it, but he has a picture of you with a surfboard that, wait, Terry, not quite.
Board meeting.
Move
The
it.
board meeting.
The board meeting, a little higher and to your right, Terry, to your right. There we go.
That is my right. Yeah, there.
Here we go. So anyway, so we can't quite, that's awesome. And I encourage everyone out there to go get your spring on. Here's another lovely picture of the Philippines, and go have a great weekend. Thank you, everybody.